Okay, doing a very short hike today. It's the 8th of May, and I wanted to come back down. The last hike I did down here in the Leatherwood, I wasn't able to complete and had to have search and rescue come in and get me out. Just exhausted myself. But I like to complete what I started. So I came back in this morning to just do a short hike. I'm back in here where I stopped, and they came to pick me up here on the old Barkshed Road extension. And going to head back now and just film some coming back to the trailhead, just to show the end of the hike. It would have been had I not wore myself out. So, coming back from a little further down the old road track, here's the trail that I took off on and unfortunately did not come back on. I came back out through the woods on further down the trail there a little ways. But anyhow, that's where I started out. So now I'll film going back, and probably not a lot of film, but to let you see, the old Barkshed Road extension is a good route back in here to hike, and it has several offshoots you can take. There's 3 waterfalls back here. Helen's Pour Off, Tom's Pour Over, or something like that, or Woodward Pour Over maybe, I can't remember now. And then there's a third one on back in there further that you can get to off of this road. I made the second one time, but I have not made the other 2. But anyhow, this is a nice morning. It's relatively cool. I think this is probably only a mile and a half, maybe back in here from the trailhead. And so this isn't going to be a long one. It's probably only going to be 3 to 4 miles total hiking time or distance. But yeah, if you want to hike without a bunch of weeds and stuff, and not get in the underbrush, this is a good hike, and you can go all the way back in here. I think you can actually go all the way through to a bluff overlooking the buffalo. That's probably a 12 to 13 mile or so round trip. So that would be a strenuous hike to go back in there and do that one and come back out. But anyhow, as you can see the road ahead, I'll stop filming for now. Catch you in a little bit. Okay, well, here's the gate coming up where they block it off to anything other than ATVs. They can get around to the right there. But so this pretty much ensures there won't be any 4-wheel drive traffic back in here. A little bit more uphill on the way back out. So my pace slows down a little. All right. Made it up that, and I believe, yeah, Right here on the right is another old road trace that takes off and runs back into a bluff over the buffalo back in there. Again, probably narrows down to single track or no track back in there somewhere, but there is another route there that you can take to get back in off this main road. Okay, well, you can see the trail ahead goes down, and then we get another uphill. I'll shut the camera off for a few and catch you in a little bit. Okay, well, thought I would turn the camera on since this is going to be a short video in any case, and film just a little bit more of this old Barkshed extension road. We shouldn't be too awful far from the turnoff trail that leads up a hill to the parking area. Now, you actually could probably come down into here somewhere and park. You find you a wide enough area so someone could get by. But the place I normally park here is up at the old fire tower, and there's a good trail down here to the road. It's fairly steep in a couple spots and pretty straight. It's a horse trail, but hopefully I pick that up here and get back up to the car and not too awful far. Okay, well, you can see the uphill ahead of us. I'll shut the camera off for now and catch you in a few. Okay, thought I'd catch just a little shot of this. Somewhere along the way they had a windstorm and it took that old tree down. And someone did come in here and cut it up and get it off the trail mostly and get it to where you could get by it. So, thanks to whoever did that. Okay, well, I think we're working our way along here. Shouldn't be too far from the little turnoff trail that goes up to the fire tower. And a little bit more uphill to do. Oh, here we go. Right here. Right at the top of this little rise. Here's the trail that leads uphill to the fire tower. Now, someone has done some work here, because all this white rock that you see here wasn't scattered out like it is now. So I think someone's come in here and tried to improve this trail a little bit. Again, it's mainly for horses, and so it's pretty steep as far as its incline. And you can hear the highway up there. You can go out on the main part of the road to the highway and hike up the highway and then into the fire tower. But that's reasonably steep also. So we'll try this and at least give you a flavor for what it looks like. All right. Well, that's the steepest area, and we'll have a couple switchbacks here, but that's a pretty good grade there. So, okay, I'm going to leave the camera on here a little bit. Okay, just about there. Whew. Yeah, it's a good little climb. Okay, back to the fire tower. So, that completes that little section of trail that I needed to finish off the power hike. And I just didn't feel good leaving something undone. So anyhow, we're back. I'll get things put away and get this ready when I get home and put that on YouTube to show the end of the hike. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Bye.